Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. We are delighted to have you here for today's webinar on the power of MDEP and how Microsoft and Barco transform the workplace collaboration. Thank you very much for taking the time today to join us because your participation is what makes this webinar truly valuable. In a rapidly changing industry, it is crucial to stay informed, and this is exactly what this webinar aims to do. In today's session, we will give you insights on the future of workplace collaboration and the strategic importance of MDEP. We will also cover how MDEP simplifies device management, enhances security, and integrates AI features. And we will also zoom in on how ClickShare enhances MDEP with intuitive wireless meeting experiences. And we're very privileged to have three splendid speakers with us to walk you through today's story. Our first speaker is Roopam Jain. She's VP Research at analyst firm Frost & Sullivan. And with more than 25 years of experience, it is safe to say that she's an expert in collaboration technologies. Our second speaker is Yoav Barzilay, Director of Program Management MDEP at Microsoft, and he's the one and only MDEP master. And last but not least, we have our very own Pieter van Coillie, Barco ClickShare product manager, so our true ClickShare authority. Before we dive into the content, I'd like to say that you can submit your questions, your thoughts, and your feedback in the Q&A box, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. So enough introduction, let's dive into the content. I'm handing the mic to Roopam now to walk us through the trends and challenges in workplace transformation. Roopam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Frauke, for that introduction. Hello, everyone. And before we get into the specifics of MDEP, which is the topic for the webinar today, let's take a quick look at what's happening in the world of enterprise collaboration today and how customer journeys have evolved over the last several years and how those changes that have happened have created a big need for secure, manageable, enterprise-grade solutions. So we know workplace transformation is a big initiative today, right? It's a big business priority. In fact, we have seen that move from it being just an IT project to a strategic mandate, a mandate that's driven from the top by the C-suite. And as a result, businesses are rethinking and redesigning how work gets done. And there are three big shifts that are driving this change. First of all, collaboration has become the backbone of modern work. And it's not just about meetings or meeting rooms. It's about creating that holistic environment that spans the entirety of the workplace. And so enabling technologies that allow ideas to flow seamlessly across teams and across locations and geographies. Second, we know that hybrid work is the default operating model now. So employees expect flexibility and businesses have to invest in the right workplace technologies. And then finally, modern teams are working very differently. They are connecting differently. They share ideas and make decisions relying on AI, digital tools, real-time communication, and intelligent systems to work even better and faster than before. So these trends together are shaping the workplace. And obviously, there's a demand for solutions that are manageable, secure, and allow businesses to work in the most productive and efficient fashion. We at Frost & Sullivan conduct several global surveys every year. We measure business sentiment towards technology adoption. And in our most recent survey of 1,200 business leaders and IT decision makers globally, we are seeing that workplace modernization and investing in collaboration devices is a top priority. 59% of businesses are actively modernizing their workplace. So this is on top of all the massive shifts that we have already seen over the last few years. An additional 59% are looking at redesigning the workplace from the ground up. And that means it's not just a refresh, right? It's a fundamental shift in how the physical workspace is going to look like and how more and more technology across all spaces is changing the employee experience from the ground up. And as part of this modernization, and of course, as a result of the massive shift to hybrid work, 40% of the business leaders and IT decision makers said that they are planning to build more meeting rooms. And this includes different types of spaces. It's not just the boardrooms or mid-sized and small rooms. It's a spectrum of different kinds of spaces, meeting pods, quiet rooms, thinking rooms, open collaboration spaces, turning every space in your organization into a collaboration hub. And so that's happening in every corner of the office. And high quality, reliable collaboration, reliable audio video has become a table stake for every meeting space. 55% of the businesses we surveyed are putting more money in meeting rooms. They are increasing their investment in video conferencing devices. And in fact, if we look at our Frost & Sullivan forecast, as a result of these investments, the technology penetration rate of video devices is going to double. And that clearly tells us that good quality audio, video, and content sharing technologies are essential to productivity and teamwork. And as these devices go into different spaces, these collaboration spaces are not standalone. These are not basic or passive endpoints. With the rise of AI and smart technologies, meeting rooms are becoming more responsive. They're more adaptive. They're capable of delivering real-time insights. So they are essentially intelligent environments. They can adjust audio video settings automatically. We can optimize lighting and temperature and the room environment, and also get analytics and engagement, analytics on engagement and usage. So this is clearly a big leap forward, and every meeting device today is a network connected endpoint. So cameras, microphones, interactive displays, they're all an integral part of the digital infrastructure of the enterprise. So they're collecting data, they communicate with each other, and they are integrated into our workflows. So that connectivity is what makes them powerful. But it also changes the way we think about devices, right? They are not just hardware. They are intelligent nodes in a larger ecosystem. And as I'll touch upon later, they introduce new consideration for IT teams in terms of management and security. So clearly, the diversity of collaboration endpoints that we are seeing and that we have access to is good for the organization. We have more flexibility. It allows us to pick the right technology for the right meeting space and the right use case, but it also creates a challenge. The challenge being, how can IT teams manage all of these different devices, often from multiple vendors across different types of spaces, multiple spaces, while maintaining their security and consistency. So this has led to what we call the fragmentation challenge. And IT teams today are struggling with multiple types of devices, vendors, sometimes inconsistent security standards, and fragmented management tools. And this has particularly been more exaggerated over the last few years, where we have seen a huge shift towards Android-based collaboration devices. Our research shows that the global video conferencing endpoints market today is a $3.2 billion industry, and Android-based all-in-one collab bars and other Android-based devices account for more than 60% of those devices sold. And businesses have clearly invested in these devices for a good reason, because they are simple to deploy. They offer plug-and-play functionality with integrated compute, camera, audio, all of it in one unit. They're cost-effective for huddle spaces and small meeting rooms. So adoption is only accelerating. But these devices often run different versions of Android, which is customized by each device vendor. So that can mean inconsistent firmware, security patching, and often not a consistent user experience too. So for IT teams, this creates a heterogeneous fleet. And that can mean a constant cycle of updates, custom configurations, troubleshooting for dozens of unique devices. And in cases where IT cannot consistently patch or monitor every device, one of these collaboration endpoints could potentially become the weakest link in your security chain. So without a unified standard, outdated or unmonitored devices in some organizations can become a critical security loophole. And we see this In our survey data too, security is the top challenge for IT leaders today. So when we asked IT decision makers about their biggest technical challenges that they are facing today, security ranked number one globally. And I think this is a very compelling point, a very telling data point in terms of where we stand with the proliferation and democratization of technology. 66% of the respondents we reached out to said security is either a significant or a critical challenge in their organization. And that's ahead of a lot of other priorities like system integration, cloud migration, network reliability. So IT leaders know that if security fails, everything else fails. And when it comes to meeting rooms, more devices, more endpoints, more data that is moving across networks can create additional complexity and risk. So clearly, organizations need a different way of doing things. They need a unified framework that can not only simplify management, but it can also standardize experiences and ensure security across every device and every meeting room. And at the end of the day, it comes down to three non-negotiables. First of all, manageability is very important for IT. It drives operational efficiency. Businesses need solutions that can simplify their administration headaches, reduce the IT overhead, and also streamline the lifecycle management of the collaboration devices. Secondly, security, as we just covered, is a non-negotiable, especially if we look at the overall environment with tightening regulations and rising cyber threats. Collaboration devices must meet the highest standards for data protection and compliance. And lastly, reliability is critical. Collaboration being the backbone of everything that we do, businesses depend on it to keep their operations running smoothly. So with all of these changes, with all the priorities that are in demand, we need a unified approach. We need something that brings structure, security, and of course, simplicity to a very fragmented landscape. And that brings us to the next part of today's discussion to show how Microsoft and Barco are addressing these challenges. Let me hand over to Yoav, who will walk us through the details.
Thank you, Roopam. Just make sure I can move the slides forward. Beautiful. Thank you again. Super excited here to be with our friends from Barco and work together to improve the future of collaboration. I'm Yoav. I'm part of the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform team, or MDEP for short. And the first thing I always get asked when I tell people that I'm building a Microsoft Android platform is, what does Microsoft have to do with Android? So let me tell you a little bit about our Android journey. Microsoft is not new to the Android ecosystem. We are investing in Android for the past 14 years. In fact, if you look at the Google Play Store, you'll find that there's over 100 apps from Microsoft and its affiliates like LinkedIn and GitHub. And we have about 2,500 engineers working in 18 sites globally to drive our Android development. Obviously, not all of these are part of MDEP, but we do have a strong Android base within Microsoft. We've been developing for Android for a long time, and our pivotal moment was a few years ago when we launched Surface Duo. This was the first time when Microsoft launched an Android device. It was the first Microsoft Android phone. It was also the first Android dual screen phone. We see quite a lot of these yesterday, but we did it first. And that was the first time when we combined the best of Microsoft and Android together. This also laid the groundwork for today's MDEP. So what is MDEP? MDEP is a customer-ready Android platform. It's not a fork. It's not a new Android flavor. It's not separate from AOSP. If you're familiar with the way Android is being suggested to the market, you'll know that there's what you get on your phones and iPads, but there's also the open source version of it called AOSP. That is what you can find on a plethora of devices today in the market. It could be on your TV, it could be on your washer, it can be in your car, and it's definitely in almost every conference room you walk into. We started building MDEP on Android 13. We are now offering MDEP on Android 15. And whatever we're doing, we make sure it maintains full compatibility with the Android apps and services. That means that every app that is running on any Android device today should and can run on MDEP. Obviously, what we've done is we've included some proprietary Microsoft components and code onto the AOSP. I like to call it the Microsoft secret sauce. And it adds advanced security, advanced AI, and more enterprise feature, like Roopam just said. Now, why are we doing this at all? When we launched Surface Duo, we heard a lot of feedback from manufacturers and enterprise customers, and they all told us they absolutely love Android. They love the flexibility of Android. They love that it can be customized, but they also raised a few concerns. First concern was the fragmentation. There are many AOSP flavors out there today, and if you have more than one provider of devices in your organization, you know that there's a good chance that you're probably managing 2 or 3 different Android flavors. It's also very complex to update, whether you're an IT admin or a developer. Having to deal with many flavors and versions of Android out there in the wild, each built by a different manufacturer and with different capabilities, makes it very hard to manage. Also, the security standards are inconsistent across custom builds. Again, when there's no standard, it's kind of each to his own, and you get up to a point where some of these may not meet the security requirements of your organizations. What they've asked us to do is to help them deliver a reliable and easy to manage Android platform, one that stays up to date with minimal effort, and to provide them a way to focus on differentiating experiences and apps, and not the need to maintain AOSP forks. So what are we doing here? What we are actually solving for? We're eliminating the fragmentation. Developers and IT admins that struggle with the complexity of multiple AOSP flavors don't have to do this anymore once we move to MDEP, because we provide a consistent and unified platform for everyone to work on and to provide an experience that is unanimous across the board. We're building MDEP for reliability and for security. Obviously, with the Microsoft Secure Future initiative, security concerns and platform instability can drive customers away from Android. We make sure that the security and the stability that they need is already there. And we include enterprise-grade enhancements for your peace of mind, whether you're a developer, a manufacturer, or an IT admin. We also have simplicity and efficiency built into the platform, where OEMs and developers and IT teams can streamline their operations. When choosing MDEP, you choose to reduce your costs, simplify your deployment, and improve your device management. Obviously, we are accelerating success, whether, again, you're a manufacturer, a developer, or an IT team. It's easier and faster to deploy, and then once deployed, easier to monitor, to update, and to proactively manage your fleets easily. And obviously, MDEP sits in the same roof along with Windows. We have decades of OS development and lifecycle management experience. It's the same team that built the Surface Duo and has a lot of Android knowledge in Microsoft is the one building MDEP. We are combining, or at least aspiring and working very hard to combine the best of both Microsoft and Android. And we are focused on simplifying the development, the management, and the innovation for OEMs and developers. So what are the differentiators in MDEP? It comes built in with Microsoft services. Obviously, Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Intune is part of it, but there's more that we'll bring, and we will offer full native support for all of the Microsoft services coming soon. There's comprehensive system capabilities. There's a full suite of system services and apps and APIs for collaboration devices. And we're providing manufacturers and developers with the tools for networking and device pairing and provisioning and updates and security monitoring. All of that is already baked into what we do. From a flexible OEM extensibility and what you can gain from working with partners like Barco, we support them to bring their existing AOSP components, and the platform is extensible, making it easier for everyone to innovate and differentiate on what they're doing best. AI, we can't go through a deck without at least mentioning AI 3 times. So we are introducing local AI frameworks powered by the Microsoft models that are designed for privacy and safety and security, with support for custom AI models. But there's more. Obviously, security first. We're combining Android's core protections like verified boot and encryption that's already there on Android. We've also added Microsoft PKI attestation, and that means that every MDEP device calls home first and identifies and gets the certificates trusted by Microsoft. We've added secure pairing for Teams. And there's an app integrity service for everything you do on the device. That means that every request going to the cloud is verified before it's being sent by our services. Then we're offering frictionless deployment and streamlining the operations, where we're investing in automation and workflows, and we reduce manual work, simplifying the updates and lowering the costs for IT teams. Obviously, accessibility is in the heart of everything we do, and our products are inclusive by design. We have Microsoft text-to-speech service built into our devices, and we support customization and offline use for various device types. And I think one of the most important feedbacks we've heard from partners is that they want to know the devices are up to date, that it's not just sitting somewhere and it's not being updated. So we are offering monthly security patches to our devices. We are vowed to have up to 4 feature updates per year. And I think one of the things we take a lot of pride in is that we are driven by partner and market needs. A lot of the changes we're introducing to the platform are driven by what we're hearing from our partners at Barco and what we're hearing from Barco's customers, and we are integrating those changes and requirements into the platform. If you want to learn more about MDEP, please make sure you visit our websites. And I'm here if you have any more questions. Thank you, Pieter. Next to you.
Thank you, Yoav. Welcome, everyone. I'm Pieter, product manager at Barco, and I would like to inform you about the experience we have created on top of MDEP. Where did this story start? Well, actually, we're the beginning of 2024, February, where we announced a partnership between Barco and Microsoft that extended in the summer, where we said that we chose MDEP as an operating system for our future generation of products. Now, you saw why Microsoft created MDEP. A bit on why did we as Barco select MDEP as the future platform. Well, on one hand, yes, for a future platform, you're searching for new technical capabilities that are future-proof, which indeed will make it possible for you to create these new experiences. And at the same time, they should be developer-friendly, making sure that you can make in a sustainable way, but also in a rapid pace, that you can actually provide this value to market. That explains, you could say, what you already heard, the popularity of the Android platform today in the market. But on the other hand, and ties into what Roopam and also Yoav said, is that on the other hand, We always had security as being one of our primary aspects of the ClickShare ecosystem. And for us, that was very important to have a platform that would make sure that we can sustain that security posture and would help us in the future to safeguard this. And on the other hand, we are searching for a platform which is trustworthy with our end customers. And this is indeed where that fragmentation that is currently in the Android market is indeed a downer, where Microsoft, with providing the Microsoft device ecosystem platform, this is really an answer for us, and that's why we selected them into the new generation. And that's what we have launched this summer, which is the ClickShare Hub. The ClickShare Hub consists of, you could say, 3 key components, the base unit, a new control panel, and the ClickShare button. And I would like to walk you through each of these components, explaining you how we build a new experience on top of MDEP. First on the ClickShare Hub. Of course, this is the compute power inside your meeting room, but I wanted to highlight indeed that very important aspect, and indeed, Roopam, you mentioned it very well, the aspect of security. The landscape of security has been ever-changing. We know most organizations now also have realized is that you cannot simply say we secure our network and after that everything we deploy inside our network will be safe. This is really, you could say, surpassed. You really have to do security on every layer, meaning that you have to start from the hardware layer to the software layer to the network layer. And this is where Barco can complete, you could say, what MDEP has been provided as a multi-layer approach. So indeed, what Yoav mentioned still is true. We profit from a stable platform foundation that's very secure. And what we add on top of that is that ability to have a secure boot as extra, that the firmware is encrypted, and that we also do additional penetration testing. This allows us to comply with today's security standards, the NIS2 directive, RED-DA, but also we are already compliant and towards the future security standards, such as the Cybersecurity Resilience Act that is coming in Europe. Then next to, okay, we have that compute power, but what is that new experience that we're creating on MDEP? When you look at this, something new for ClickShare is the control panel. The control panel, which can be on the table or on your wall, you walk in and you can simply click on that control panel to start your meeting room. This is a very streamlined and easy way of running your call. And this signifies the fact that, yes, we have stepped into the room system experiences. This has a big pro. The call is running on the ClickShare Hub, so on the system. So you still have your own device free to focus on the meeting. And when you then can focus on your laptop, when are you going to use your laptop is when you want to provide extra content into the meeting room, facilitating the discussion. And there, of course, we would not be ClickShare, or it would not be a ClickShare unit if we would not be able to provide this in a wireless way. So very easy. We have the button that you can use to provide the content into the meeting room system. However, this is a new generation button where we have implemented a couple of new technologies, allowing us to offer you even a better sharing experience. First up is the Wi-Fi 6E support. On one hand, yes, same story, that it helps us for having a better security protocol on the Wi-Fi, but also this Wi-Fi enables a higher bandwidth to be used. And we can profit from it to actually enable a 4K sharing and conferencing experience with the ClickShare Hub. So giving you the quality that you want. on the other technology that we added to the button is the DP Alt mode. What does that technology do? Well, that makes sure that you can use this button without installing any driver or any application on your laptop, because it simulates a cable being connected without, of course, the hassle of the cable being connected. But of course, with ClickShare next to the button, there comes the ClickShare application that you can then use if you want to have all, you could say, the functionalities available for the most privacy sense way of sharing, where you select what you want and you want not to be shared during the meeting. There is more to, you could say, ClickShare than the in-room meeting experience. A lot has to do with the manageability. When it comes to managing your ClickShare-enabled meeting rooms, we have the XMS Cloud platform, and that is still there today and will fully support the ClickShare Hub for all your management tasks, monitoring, and troubleshooting. But because the ClickShare Hub has been built on MDEP, this also enables us to integrate into the Microsoft ecosystem, allowing you as an IT admin to also use the platforms that you know of Microsoft, where you go to manage the conference toolings, or where you go to manage your policy settings like in Intune, to also do this for the ClickShare Hub device. So it's not you have to choose one or the other. Really, it's an extension of the management capabilities you get for your organization. And with that, we combine both giving, you could say, that continuous assurance of the meeting room experience and expanding the capabilities. We want to show to you that ClickShare puts you at the heart of our experiences. And with that, I want to give the word back to Frauke.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Pieter. Thank you, Yoav. Thank you, Roopam, for that great insight. That was a lot of very valuable content. And I know that we've reached the 30 minutes mark, but I do want to take a few minutes to address some of the questions that came in. And the first question is a question for Yoav. Yoav, when vendors like Barco or other vendors using MDEP to build new products, does it mean that the end users also have to buy products that are Microsoft certified? In other words, how important is the certification aspect for MDEP products?
The good news is we don't have a certification program for MDEP. We work together as one team with our manufacturing partners to build what they feel is the right thing for them. Obviously, there's minimum requirements for to build on the product, but these are the things we work together with the partners. The end user should be completely unaware of what's running on the device. Obviously, we would love to know that they think the devices are faster and better and more reliable. But the experience should be led by the manufacturer and whatever experience is running on the device, not by the platform. The platform would provide the IT admin with the security and the privacy and the AI features, the advanced features that they want. But for the end user, this should be completely transparent. So no certification, just a lot of joint work together with our partners to deliver on a great experience.
All right. And when you were replying to that question, a follow-up question came in, and it's the following. Will the team certification requirements change with the implementation of MDEP?
That's a wonderful question to ask the Teams team. But I do believe there is kind of a pivot towards having MDEP as a standard for the new Teams devices, but that would have to come from Teams.
All right. Okay, and then maybe one final question for Pieter.
Mm-hmm.
Can users who purchased Barco ClickShare products before 2024 also benefit from the cooperation with Microsoft, or does this require the purchase of new hardware?
Well, yes, they can benefit from the partnership with Microsoft, because we have been working together to indeed see how we can improve the meeting room experience. And there are aspects, for example, on XMS Cloud that are there, whether you have a new unit that you will buy or you still have an old unit. And our collaboration that we are doing to also see that we can augment and improve the BYOD experience will benefit the full portfolio. Of course, the feature set that I have mentioned that we were able to create on top of MDEP, yes, they will require the new device because it is a combination of hardware and software that eventually brings these new technologies and the new capabilities to the market.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. We have lots of other questions that come in, but I want to be conscious of everyone's time, so we'll wrap it up here and we will reply to the questions in writing. You will also get the recording of this webinar as well as the slides. To conclude, I really want to thank the three speakers again, and I want to thank everyone who's joined today's webinar. It was really great to have you here, and we're looking forward to welcoming you again on a future webinar. Thank you very much and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.